Welcome back to Addiction, Depression, Recovery. Stress. It affects everyone from time to time, but if you're in recovery from addiction, it is an especially difficult obstacle because you likely used your addiction to manage your stress. So let's talk about it. To begin with, what exactly is stress? Stress is your body's reaction to a demand or threat. You've heard of a fight or flight response before, right? So another name for it is a stress response. In a dangerous situation, your body becomes tense, your hair stands on end, your heart beats faster. In the right context, this reaction can save your life. The only problem is that your brain isn't very good at distinguishing between physical threats and emotional ones, and often has the same reaction in either situation. And studies show that the more often you experience this kind of stress response, the more prone you are to experience the same reaction in the future, which makes stress a slippery slope, especially true for addicts who are already prone to additional stress. Stress is also about your perception of and your response to the situation or event at hand, because a stressful event or circumstance is not harmful to you in and of itself. The stress you experience is based on your reaction to it and your view of it. There are external causes of stress, of course, such as major life changes, financial problems, simply being too busy, or trouble at work or in a relationship. But the real causes of stress are usually more internal. Pessimism, an inability to accept uncertainty, a lack of flexibility, negative self-talk, perfectionism, an all-or-nothing attitude, and unrealistic expectations can all cause stress without any external help at all. The first step in dealing with stress is to recognize it. Stress has a habit of sneaking up on you or waiting quietly in the background unnoticed. So ask yourself a few questions about your stress. Do you often tell people that your stress is temporary, but can't remember the last time that you weren't experiencing stress? Do you accept stress as a permanent part of your life? Do you blame your stress on outside sources? Stress affects every system in your body and has noticeable symptoms. So let's take a look at what they are so that you can better determine if high stress is affecting your health. The most obvious symptoms of being overstressed are the emotional ones. Stress can cause unhappiness, depression, anxiety, agitation, moodiness, irritability, anger, isolation, and loneliness. It can make you feel hopeless, overwhelmed, or disconnected. It can also manifest as behavioral symptoms. You may find yourself eating more or less than you usually do, or eating when you're not hungry. Your sleep schedule may change drastically, ranging from oversleeping to insomnia. You may withdraw from others, neglect personal responsibilities by procrastinating, or develop nervous habits, such as nail biting, pacing, or facial tics and twitches. And of course, the use of drugs, alcohol, and other addictions to manage stress is very common. But that's not all. Stress can cause cognitive issues, including memory problems, difficulty concentrating, poor judgment, habitual negativity, chronic worry, and anxious thoughts. It can make your mind race or make your thoughts stand still. And it can even drastically affect your physical health, causing aches and pains, diarrhea or constipation, nausea, dizziness, chest pain, increased heart rate, a loss of sex drive, trouble sleeping, and increased susceptibility to minor diseases like a cold or flu. Stress is known to cause a loss of impulse control. Chronic stress leads to a decreased gray matter volume in the region of your brain associated with cognitive control and stress regulation. And heavy stress can shut down part of your prefrontal cortex involved in deliberative cognition. All of this leaves an addict with an inability to be reflective and an inability to delay gratification. That means that stress directly inhibits your ability to control your impulses and cravings. I think you can see now how much stress affects addicts, but did you know that stress in early life can contribute to addiction later in life? Studies show that adverse childhood experiences such as abuse, neglect, or violence are associated with an increased risk for addiction. And people with stresses in their life, such as a difficult relationship or employment troubles, are at a greater risk of addiction as well. The link between stress and addiction is well established, and the more stressors you experience, the higher your risk of addiction will become. Stress can even worsen existing health problems, including skin conditions like eczema, heart disease, weight problems, reproductive issues, digestive problems, autoimmune diseases, pain of any kind, depression and anxiety, insomnia, and a wide range of cognitive and memory issues. As I've researched stress for this video, I've come to realize what a profound impact stress, and more importantly, the way you deal with stress, can have on your life, your health, and your happiness. So, now I want to share all the stress management techniques I've learned, as well as what worked for me, so you can find out what works for you and begin managing your stress in a healthy way. Physical health is important. You don't have to train like an Olympic athlete, but make sure that you're eating well, getting enough sleep, and getting some exercise. Poor physical health contributes to high levels of stress, so take care of your body. Practice good time management, which means maintaining balance between the different parts of your life. Don't spend all your time working, but do stay busy. Spend time with friends and family, but take time for yourself too, and learn to say no when you need to. Don't try to do everything all at once, and don't try to do everything for everyone else. Prioritize your goals and allow yourself to reflect on and celebrate all the progress you've made in your recovery. Have a healthy daily schedule with time for all of these things in moderation. Find hobbies and interests that you enjoy and make time for them. And try to add new healthy habits to your routine. When you have balance in your life and allow some quiet time for yourself, your brain can slow down and process what's going on around you without reverting to a stress response. As with everything I discuss, honesty is important. Keep a journal of times that you experienced stress and review it when you're calm so you can find out what triggered your stress response and how you can better avoid it next time. Admit when you could have handled the situation better and try to learn from it. This change won't happen immediately. Give it time and keep at it. Record what caused your stress, how you felt physically as well as emotionally, how you responded, what made you feel better afterwards, and how you can improve your response and attitude the next time you're facing stress. You'll need to learn to accept the things you cannot control. You can control your daily schedule, your attitude, and the things you agree to do. You can't control how other people will treat you or the events that take place around you throughout the day. Accept that some things are outside your control, and don't let those things make you angry or anxious. Instead, exercise the control you do have by staying calm and positive. Stay in touch with a social support network, and when you're stressed, contact a friend to talk it out so you can calm down. And make sure the people in your life are the right people, supportive people who share positivity and love with you and don't add to your stress. Maintaining a positive attitude takes some effort, but is well worth it. A good trick is to remember that you can't feel angry or anxious while feeling grateful. Think of something or someone in your life that you are deeply grateful for, and you'll feel the stress just fall away. Positive self-talk is also important. We all talk to ourselves here and there throughout the day, so make sure that you aren't putting yourself down or stressing yourself out. Let's look at some examples of negative self-talk, and we'll see how we can turn these thoughts into positive ones. You might tell yourself, "I can't believe I messed this up." Instead, tell yourself, "I can fix this. Everyone makes mistakes." Instead of, "I can't do this," tell yourself, "I'll do the best I can." If something is a recurring problem, instead of being angry that it has happened again, remind yourself that you've dealt with it in the past, so you know exactly what to do this time around. Over time, this positive attitude will become a habit, and eventually that habit will simply become your new attitude. Be assertive, but not aggressive. It is okay to share your thoughts and emotions, but don't use anger, fear, or anxiety in order to express them. Find new ways to communicate in a positive, healthy way so you can be honest about stressful situations that you need to avoid. Breathing is important. If you get stressed out, focus on your breathing. Take slow, deep breaths until you feel your muscles relax and you can think clearly again. And whenever you can, walk away from the problem until you've calmed down. You can't respond properly while you're anxious or angry. A lot of people have said that making something helps calm them down. Make jewelry, learn to knit or sew, practice woodworking or painting, and you'll feel even better if the thing you make is for somebody else. In fact, just doing nice things for others in general is a great way to relieve stress. Humans are wired to feel happy when we make others happy. Also, learning new information or new skills can work in much the same way to calm you down and make you feel positive and constructive. Seek emotions that are the opposite of stress, like gratitude, pride, and contentment. What worked for me? Well, I'm a musician, so playing guitar always helps calm me down. A good video game is another favorite of mine, but I did that stuff back when I drank, so I had to find more ways to handle stress for myself. Working on this channel has been a great project, and I enjoy feeling busy and useful. I spend a lot of time researching topics, and I'm enjoying learning again, something I used to love but hadn't done for a long time. I'm also someone who likes to feel I'm in control, which I've had to learn to let go of. Using alcohol to treat my issues allowed me to feel like I had control over my life, but obviously that didn't last. Now I try to live life in a more grateful way and accept what each day brings. Making that kind of change in your thinking is difficult, and I'm still working at it, but I'm getting there. These are the things that helped me, are still helping me. There's a lot of information here, but hopefully some of it is helpful for you. There are as many techniques for stress relief as there are people on the earth, and you'll have to find the specific techniques that work for you. But hopefully, I've painted a clear picture of stress and its effects, so you can understand how to fight back and lead a balanced, grounded, happy life. If you have any more specific advice on stress management, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go play guitar and relax for a while. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped. I know it helped me. This has been Addiction, Depression, Recovery. And remember, we do heal.